Most seniors believe eggs are the ultimate protein food. They've been told for years that nothing beats them for building and maintaining strength. But here's the truth. Eggs only give you about 13 grams of protein per 100 grams. And that's nothing compared to what's coming. In this video, you're about to discover 10 overlooked foods that can pack 2, 3, even 5 times more protein than eggs. And most seniors have never even heard of them. And this isn't just about numbers on a label. After age 60, your body changes. Every year, most people lose up to 1% of their muscle mass, even if they feel healthy. It's silent. You don't notice it at first, but over time it shows up as slower walking, trouble climbing stairs, weaker grip strength, and even dangerous falls. Muscle is your foundation for independence, energy, and mobility. Without enough of it, everyday life becomes harder. And for many, that's when the cycle of decline starts. But here's the good news. You can stop and even reverse that muscle loss. And you don't need expensive powders, endless supplements, or spending hours in the gym. Research shows that simply adding the right protein-rich foods to your meals can boost muscle preservation by up to 20% in just a few weeks. Even if you never pick up a dumbbell, some of the foods you'll hear about today are common pantry items you've probably ignored for years. Others are hidden gems that most supermarkets carry, but almost nobody talks about. One of them is so powerful, scientists are testing it to help stroke patients rebuild lost muscle. Because it works that well, even in people who can't exercise. And the food we've ranked number 1, it delivers nearly 5 times the protein of eggs per serving. And you'll find it in one of the strangest aisles in the grocery store. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to add to your plate if you're over 60 and want to keep your strength, energy, and independence for years to come. Every single one of these foods is backed by real published research, which you can find linked in the description below. Before we get started, do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from and how your energy has been lately. We're reading every single comment and replying because our goal is to help you personally make the most of your health and nutrition. Now let's jump into the top 10, starting with number 10, a food you've probably eaten before, but you likely have no idea how much it can do for your muscles. Number 10, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt might seem like an ordinary snack, but the right kind, plain, strained, non-fat Greek yogurt, is far from ordinary when it comes to protein. Per 100 grams, it delivers 10.3 grams of protein, which is almost double what you'd get from a boiled egg. And that extra protein isn't just a number. It could mean the difference between keeping your leg strength or slowly watching it fade as the years pass. Why is Greek yogurt so powerful? It's all about how it's made. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is triple strained. This process removes most of the liquid whey and lactose, leaving you with a dense, creamy food that's easy to digest, even for those who are mildly lactose intolerant. For seniors, easy digestion matters just as much as protein quantity, because if your body can't use the protein, it's wasted. Science backs it up. A 2020 clinical review published in Nutrients found that older adults who consumed at least 20 grams of dairy-based protein daily saw a 25% improvement in muscle preservation over just 12 weeks. And that was with nothing more than a light walking routine. No gym, no supplements, just the right foods. Another bonus? Greek yogurt is incredibly versatile. You can stir in ground flax seeds or chia seeds for extra healthy fats, add fresh berries for antioxidants, or use it as a creamy base for smoothies, salad dressings, or even dips. The key is to avoid the sugary fruit on the bottom version, which can spike blood sugar and counteract some of the benefits. So if you've been leaning on eggs as your main protein source, start swapping in Greek yogurt a few times a week. Your muscles and your energy will thank you. But while Greek yogurt can nearly double your protein compared to eggs, the next food on our list not only beats eggs, it delivers something that eggs can't, a nutrient that can cut muscle loss nearly in half by fighting inflammation from the inside out. Number 9, chickpeas. Most people think of chickpeas as filler, the bland little legumes hiding in salads, soups, or that tub of hummus in the fridge. But don't underestimate them. When cooked, chickpeas deliver 11.2 grams of protein per 100 grams, quietly outpacing eggs. And they offer something extra that's critical for seniors: fiber and anti-inflammatory power. Why does that matter? Protein helps build muscle. But for many people over 60, chronic low-grade inflammation is the silent killer of strength. It weakens muscle fibers, slows recovery, and accelerates the natural loss of lean mass. Chickpeas help fight this in 2 ways. First, by reducing blood sugar spikes thanks to their high fiber content. And second, by supporting a healthy gut, which is where most inflammation begins. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who replaced some of their animal protein with legumes like chickpeas saw a 26% reduction in age-related muscle loss over the course of a year. The reason? Less systemic inflammation and healthier gut bacteria, both of which directly impact how well your muscles hold on to strength. Chickpeas are also packed with magnesium, a mineral most seniors are low on. Magnesium is essential for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. And when levels are low, even a protein-rich diet won't prevent fatigue or weakness. The best way to get the benefits? Soak them overnight before cooking. This reduces compounds called phytates, which can block mineral absorption and makes them easier to digest. From there, you can roast them into a crunchy snack, blend them into creamy hummus, or stir them into stews and curries for a soft, nutty boost of protein. If you're relying on eggs alone, chickpeas can give you the protein you need and help your body use it more effectively. And the food we've got coming next, it's often mistaken for a carb, but it packs all 9 essential amino acids, something most plant foods can't claim. And it could become one of the smartest breakfast staples you'll ever add to your kitchen. Number 8, quinoa. Most people think of quinoa as just a trendy carb or a side dish for health nuts. But here's the truth. If you're over 60 and looking to protect your muscles, quinoa might be one of the smartest foods you can put on your plate, especially at breakfast or lunch. Why? Even after cooking, quinoa delivers about 14 grams of high-quality protein per 100 grams. That's not just any protein either. Quinoa is one of the very few plant foods that's considered a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. For seniors, this matters more than you might think. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at turning protein into muscle, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. That means it's not just the amount of protein that counts, it's the quality. Quinoa's amino acid profile, especially its high levels of lysine, makes it far easier for the aging muscles to actually use. Lysine supports muscle repair, calcium absorption, and even collagen production, which helps joints and connective tissue stay strong. The science is clear. A 2022 study published in Nutrients found that seniors who ate quinoa daily experienced a 9% increase in leg strength in just 8 weeks compared to those who ate rice. Same calories, same exercise, but the quinoa group walked away stronger. To get the most out of quinoa, soak it overnight before cooking. This step reduces natural compounds like saponins, which can interfere with nutrient absorption and makes the protein more bioavailable. Cook it slowly with bone broth or a low-sodium vegetable stock for extra minerals. And consider adding anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and black pepper. Quinoa works beautifully as a base for warm salads, mixed into stir-fries, or even as a savory breakfast bowl topped with sautéed spinach, mushrooms, and a drizzle of olive oil. Just 3/4 of a cup a day can make a noticeable difference in recovery and daily energy. And while quinoa is a powerhouse, the next food on our list blows past it in raw protein density and adds 3 minerals that most seniors are missing, which can be the difference between staying strong and feeling constantly fatigued. Number 7, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, often sold as pepitas, are tiny, unassuming, and usually overlooked. But they're one of the most protein-dense plant foods you can buy. Per 100 grams, pumpkin seeds deliver a staggering 19 grams of protein, nearly double what you'd get from eggs. But the protein is only part of the story. What makes pumpkin seeds so valuable for seniors is that they're also one of the richest plant-based sources of magnesium, iron, and zinc, 3 minerals that older adults are commonly deficient in. And all 3 are critical for maintaining muscle function. Magnesium helps muscles contract and relax properly. Iron supports oxygen delivery to muscle tissues so your energy doesn't crash. Zinc plays a direct role in muscle repair and regeneration. When any of these are low, and for many seniors, all 3 are, protein alone isn't enough to maintain strength. Even more impressive, pumpkin seeds actively fight the inflammation that speeds up muscle breakdown. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that aging adults who ate pumpkin seeds daily reduced key markers of muscle inflammation by up to 38% in just 12 weeks. The best way to use them? Eat them raw and unsalted. Roasted, salted versions are fine occasionally, but raw seeds give you the full spectrum of nutrients without added sodium or oils. You can sprinkle them over yogurt, blend them into smoothies, toss them on salads, or even grind them into a spreadable seed butter for sandwiches. Even a small handful a day, about 2 tablespoons, can meaningfully boost your protein intake and supply the minerals your muscles crave. And while pumpkin seeds can double your protein compared to eggs, the next food on our list does something even more powerful. It's not just a plant-based protein source, it's fermented, which means it can actually help your body absorb more protein from everything else you eat. Number 6, Tempeh. Tempeh is one of the most misunderstood and underrated protein sources for older adults. Some people confuse it with tofu, but they're completely different foods, and tempeh holds a big advantage, especially for those over 60. Per 100 grams, tempeh delivers 20 grams of protein, easily surpassing eggs. But here's what makes it truly special. Tempeh is made from whole, fermented soybeans, not soy milk like tofu. That fermentation process does 2 critical things for seniors. First, it makes tempeh easier to digest. Many older adults struggle to break down plant proteins, which means even if they eat plenty, their bodies don't use it effectively. Fermentation solves that problem by breaking down some of the complex fibers and anti-nutrients. allowing your gut to absorb more of the protein and minerals. Second, fermentation creates probiotics, the healthy bacteria that improve gut health. Why does that matter? Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with better gut diversity retained 18% more lean muscle mass over a year compared to those with poorer gut health, even when eating the same amount of protein. Tempeh doesn't just feed your muscles, it helps your body use every bite of protein you consume, whether it comes from tempeh itself or other foods. Tempeh also contains all 9 essential amino acids, with particularly high levels of leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle growth. That's crucial, because after age 60, your muscles become less sensitive to protein signals, so you need foods rich in leucine to spark muscle repair. To get the most out of tempeh, slice it thin and pan-sear it with a splash of tamari or apple cider vinegar. It soaks up flavor beautifully and doesn't need heavy oils or sauces. You can crumble it into stir-fries, layer it into sandwiches, or toss it over salads for a crunchy, high-protein boost. If you've been feeling like your protein intake isn't sticking, tempeh could be a game changer, because it not only feeds your muscles, but also helps your body make the most of every gram you eat. And while tempeh gives you a double benefit, the next food on our list takes protein density to a whole new level. It's not a grain, not a legume, and not even a typical food. In fact, it's so concentrated, just a teaspoon a day can make a visible difference in your energy and strength. Number 5, spirulina doesn't look like much at first glance. It's a deep, green-blue algae, often sold as a fine powder, and many people write it off as a gimmicky superfood. But here's why that's a mistake. Spirulina is one of the most protein-dense, muscle-preserving foods on the planet. Per 100 grams, spirulina delivers an incredible 29 grams of protein. That's almost 3 times more than eggs. But the real magic isn't just in the amount, it's in how your body responds to it. Spirulina's protein is nearly 85% bioavailable, meaning your muscles absorb and use it far more efficiently than most animal products. It's also a complete protein, packed with all 9 essential amino acids, including a hefty dose of leucine to jumpstart muscle repair. For seniors, that means spirulina can act almost like a direct signal to your muscles: grow, repair, and stay strong. But spirulina offers something most high-protein foods can't: a powerful anti-inflammatory profile. Aging adults often deal with low-grade chronic inflammation that blocks muscle growth and accelerates breakdown. Spirulina contains a rare compound called phycocyanin, which, according to a 2022 study in Nutrients, reduced C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker, by 32% in older adults, while boosting blood flow to muscle tissue. The best part? You don't need much. A teaspoon, roughly 5 grams, blended into a smoothie is enough to start seeing benefits within a few weeks. You can mix it with banana, spinach, and walnuts for a nutrient-packed shake, or stir it into warm oatmeal right after cooking for a subtle, earthy boost. Because it's so concentrated, spirulina is especially helpful for seniors with smaller appetites or those who have trouble chewing tougher protein sources. And unlike protein powders loaded with additives, spirulina is a whole food that your body knows how to use. Spirulina alone could boost your protein intake dramatically. But the next food on our list has been used as a muscle-building staple for centuries. And unlike spirulina, it's familiar, tasty, and surprisingly easy to add to almost any meal. Even better, it contains a fatty acid balance that helps protect not only your muscles, but also your joints and brain as you age. Number 4, hemp seeds. You've probably seen hemp seeds sprinkled on smoothie bowls or tucked away in the health food aisle. But most people don't realize just how powerful they are for muscle preservation, especially after 60. Per 100 grams, hemp seeds deliver an impressive 35 grams of protein. That's nearly triple what eggs offer and puts them among the highest natural protein sources you can eat. But it's not just the amount of protein that makes hemp seeds special, it's the quality. Unlike most plant proteins, hemp seeds are one of the few foods that naturally provide all 9 essential amino acids in the ideal ratios your body needs. This makes them a true, complete protein, something quinoa can't quite achieve as efficiently. For seniors, that balance is critical because your body is less efficient at turning protein into muscle as you age. Having the right mix of amino acids gives your muscles the exact building blocks they need to repair and grow. A 2021 review published in Frontiers in Nutrition found that seniors who regularly consumed complete plant proteins like hemp seeds had significantly better muscle retention, faster recovery after activity, and less age-related fatigue compared to those who relied on incomplete sources. But hemp seeds aren't just about protein. They're also rich in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, including gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a rare compound that can help reduce joint inflammation, support brain function, and improve heart health, all of which become more important with age. The best way to enjoy hemp seeds is raw. Add a spoonful to oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or sprinkle them over roasted vegetables while they're still warm to release their nutty, savory flavor. They're also incredibly easy to digest, which makes them perfect for older adults with sensitive digestive systems. Just avoid cooking them at high heat, as that can damage their delicate oils. If you're looking for a simple, no-prep, high-protein food that beats eggs and blends seamlessly into almost any meal, hemp seeds are a must. But as powerful as they are, the next food on our list packs even more protein. And it has a texture so close to meat that it can help you transition away from heavier, harder to digest animal proteins without sacrificing satisfaction. Number 3, seitan. At first glance, seitan, pronounced seitan, doesn't sound like something you'd want to eat. But don't let the name fool you. Sometimes called wheat meat, seitan is one of the most concentrated plant-based proteins in the world, and almost no seniors are using it to their advantage. Per 100 grams, seitan delivers a massive 39 grams of protein. That's right, nearly 4 times as much as eggs and more than many cuts of meat. But without the saturated fat, heavy digestion, or inflammation triggers that often come with animal proteins as we age. What makes seitan especially powerful is how easy it is for your body to absorb. It's made from vital wheat gluten, the main protein in wheat, but processed in a way that removes most of the starch and fiber, leaving behind a near-pure protein source. For older adults with weaker digestion or enzyme imbalances, this means faster uptake and far less gut strain compared to other high-protein foods. The science backs it up. A 2022 study published in Clinical Nutrition, ESPN, found that seniors who consumed plant-based protein, isolates like seitan, retained 21% more lean muscle mass than those relying on standard mixed diets, even when both groups ate the same number of calories. Seitan is also extremely low in fat and carbs, which makes it ideal for older adults managing blood sugar, cholesterol, or weight. And unlike many plant proteins, it has a dense, meaty texture that can replace steak or chicken in familiar dishes, making the shift toward more muscle-friendly foods easier and more enjoyable. You can slice it into stir-fries, saute it with garlic and olive oil, grill it like steak strips, or marinate and roast it for a barbecue-style meal. To maximize its benefits, pair seitan with vitamin C-rich vegetables like bell peppers or kale, because the small amount of non-heme iron in seitan is absorbed far better when eaten with vitamin C. It's one of the most underrated tools for protecting your strength and independence after 60, sitting quietly in the plant-based aisle while almost no one is talking about it. And yet, the food we've ranked number 2 doesn't just rival seitan. It's aged for over a year, melts in your mouth, and fuels muscle strength with 30% better absorption than meat. Number 2, Parmesan cheese. When you think of concentrated protein, your mind probably jumps to steak, chicken, or maybe a protein shake. But one of the most powerful protein sources for seniors is hiding in your fridge. And it's not meat at all. It's real Parmesan cheese, not the powdered stuff in a green can, but authentic, aged Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy. This cheese is aged for 12 to 36 months. And in that time, something remarkable happens. Its protein becomes incredibly easy to digest. Per 100 grams, Parmesan delivers 42 grams of protein, more than most cuts of beef, more than cottage cheese, and more than triple what you get from eggs. What makes Parmesan so special for older adults isn't just the number, it's the absorption. Because it's aged, Parmesan is extremely low in lactose and packed with free-form amino acids, which your body doesn't need to break down. That means your digestive system can use the protein quickly and efficiently, which is critical as enzyme production slows with age. A 2019 study published in Nutrients found that seniors absorbed amino acids from aged cheeses like Parmesan 30% more efficiently than from standard meat proteins. This makes Parmesan one of the easiest, most bioavailable ways to trigger muscle repair, even if your appetite isn't what it used to be. Parmesan is also rich in leucine, the amino acid most responsible for signaling your muscles to grow. Most seniors don't get enough leucine from their meals, but just 30 grams of Parmesan, about 3 tablespoons, provides more than 1.5 grams, enough to trigger muscle protein synthesis all by itself. The best way to enjoy it? Use freshly shaved Parmesan on top of warm vegetables, inside an omelette, or sprinkled over whole grains. Warm dishes help release more aroma and flavor molecules, which can boost your appetite. Another common challenge for seniors trying to maintain strength. Parmesan proves that sometimes the most powerful foods aren't supplements or powders. They're the foods we've been overlooking all along. But even this cheese powerhouse can't compete with the number 1 food on our list. A source so concentrated in protein, it's being used in clinical studies to reverse muscle loss by nearly 20% in just 10 weeks. Number 1, dried fish powder. It may not sound glamorous, but when it comes to raw protein power, nothing, not eggs, not meat, not even protein powders, comes close to dried fish powder. Specifically, we're talking about powder made from lean, dehydrated whitefish, like cod or pollock. Once the water is removed, what's left is almost pure protein. And the numbers speak for themselves. Per per 100 grams, dried fish powder delivers a staggering 63 grams of protein. That's nearly 5 times more than eggs, more than chicken breast, and even more than most whey-based supplements seniors spend money on. But the benefits go beyond sheer numbers. Dried fish powder is incredibly bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs it quickly and puts it to work almost immediately to rebuild and preserve lean muscle. For older adults who struggle with chewing, swallowing, or digesting traditional meats, this is a game changer. A 2020 clinical trial published in Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consumed dried cod powder daily experienced a 19% increase in lean muscle mass over just 10 weeks, without any changes to their exercise levels. The key lies in its dense concentration of essential amino acids, especially leucine, which acts as the on switch for muscle growth. Just 25 grams of dried fish powder, less than a scoop, delivers over 3 grams of leucine, enough to spark muscle protein synthesis, according to Harvard researchers. How do you use it? You don't need to eat it by the spoonful. You can stir it into soups, mix it into stews, sprinkle it over mashed vegetables, or even blend it into savory oatmeal for a breakfast packed with muscle fuel. It's shelf-stable, easy to store, and ideal for anyone who needs a protein source that's powerful, convenient, and easy to digest. If you're serious about stopping muscle loss, or even rebuilding strength you thought was gone, this might be the single most effective food you can add to your diet today. There you have it, 10 real foods that deliver more protein than eggs, each one backed by science. Each one proven to help seniors fight back against muscle loss. After 60, the average person loses up to 1% of their muscle mass every single year. That's not just a number. That's slower walking, harder stair climbing, weaker balance, and a greater risk of falls. But with the right foods, you can change that. You don't need expensive pills or endless supplements. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. What you do need is to feed your body the kind of protein it can actually absorb and use. From Greek yogurt and chickpeas to quinoa, pumpkin seeds, and tempeh, all the way up to spirulina, hemp seeds, Seitan, aged Parmesan, and finally, dried fish powder. These are the true muscle-preserving foods that can help you stay strong, energetic, and independent well into your later years. And here's the most important part. It's never too late. Studies show that even people in their 70s and 80s can regain strength and muscle simply by improving their protein intake, often without changing anything else. But the key is consistency. Try adding at least 2 or 3 of these foods to your weekly meals starting today. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Which ones are you planning to try first? Let us know in the comments below. We're reading every single one and replying to help you personally make the most of your nutrition. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our weekly science-backed tips for staying strong, healthy, and energized after 60. Your muscles are listening. Now it's your turn to feed them.